In this video, I'll be demonstrating how I achieve quality and output targets in an unpacking set out of a new kitchen. First things first, I need to recognise the time allowed for the job according to the production schedule. In this case, that was 2 days. I must also consider the quality I must aim to achieve. I'm required to thoroughly check the quality and quantity of materials on site and store accordingly. High attention to detail is crucial here, as anything that goes unnoticed by me will impact the production schedule further down the line. I need to organise the space efficiently in order to meet required quality and output levels. I follow systems to make sure this happens. For example, creating space to store shelves and doors early on, as they won't be needed until closing stages of the project. This will also help them keep safe from getting damaged. I number these so that they're easily paired up with the correct units when required. Damaged materials are made note of and photographed for later on, when I'll complete a materials replacement form. I attach legs to base units and tower units, adjust them to the correct height, checking them against the combination square as I go along. I then move these into position according to the installation plans. I make a to-do list. This helps actively monitor work to ensure that it meets specifications within acceptable timeframes. Also, by ticking off materials from the installation pack as I go along, I can easily keep track of what materials are on site. I check this at the end of the job to ensure everything has been ticked off from the list, as this shows I've personally identified it. I make damaged or defected goods more visible by labelling them with an arrow so the installer can identify these quickly in order to save wasted time on materials which can't be used. As with all jobs, from a legal standpoint, I must complete the job wearing correct PPE throughout. In this case, that would be steel-toe cap boots, since I'll be handling large, potentially heavy or awkward objects, making use of lifting aids where possible. Good housekeeping is also required to prevent trip hazards, and waste must be stored appropriately. In this case, we kept the cardboard contained in bulk bag outside, out of the way. Rubble sacks containing anything else beside that. Processes such as removing packaging of multiple units, then removing all of those doors, then shelves, and then attaching feet, allows me to work without constantly changing tools. This also helps the workload move along efficiently. I'm required to store materials in a manner which is easy to find yet not in the way. The installer should do as minimal handling as possible when they arrive on site. With this in mind, base units are put almost in place according to the plans, and decor panels are kept nearby as one of the other essential early on materials. Everything else, I almost leave them in order in which the installer will need where possible. I must also be conscientious of where may be a suitable location for the installer to set up a workbench for making their cuts, and not store anything in this spot. I'm required to leave the site looking tidy, so I remove any waste, largely cardboard and strapping, and hoover the area. I fill out a replacement order form and send it to my project manager, along with photos of damages and defects. This then gets passed on to the supplier. I'm also required to pass this information on to the installer with any complications or photos of the site, so the installer can become familiarised with the site before even stepping foot in the building. Again, I was given 2 days to complete the job as required. At the end of the second day, I filled out my daily log confirming the job was complete, along with photos. Thanks for watching.